So, Friday night, how y'all doing? I think I left off on the last video about dissociating myself from the some of the people that were in our area. Um, yeah, so those garbage pail kid dolls, um, they were they were my first actual cool toy. I consider them as toy, not just a collectible card. You couldn't play with them. Well, yeah, you could. I mean, there was, some people would make little competitions to see, how they could get your cards instead of just trading. But that's kid stuff for what, you know, us as young people went through in that neighborhood. Again, it was called the Paloma. So, so along with that, so the disassociating started happening at that point where you just, you see these people. They were cool people, man. Don't get me wrong. There. Have you ever fucking seen how these motherfuckers earn? God damn it, man. you know, it's a fucking, it's an expensive habit. The thing's fucking expensive. And these fucking motherfuckers are motivated. So how can I say something bad about them? I more than I fucking supported them, man, for the fucking example they would put how hard workers they were. How fucking hard worker can a fucking human be when they're fucking motivated for something, when they're out to get something. Ain't no fucking there ain't no motherfucker on earth more motivated than a fucking person that just needs to get whatever they need to get for the fucking fight. So if I learned anything from that area was the more motivated you are, the more you generate. So that was pretty fucking cool. So so my ass got motivated. Yeah, yeah. Remember when I said connect A to B, and I saw some of these motherfuckers, go through the fucking alphabet, and I just saw the A. You know, you take a shortcut to B, or I mean, not to B, but to C, and you pass B, you might not fucking learn something. Something's missing. So you gotta fucking learn the alphabet when you're a kid, and you kind of understand that. You know, the more consistent you are, and the more you shut the fuck up and listen and learn and keep your eyes open and your ears open, the more consistent you are, and you follow an algorithm, or you follow the order that is being given to you. As a kid, the order was you needed to learn your alphabet. No is that's about it. Especially the number system. Remove a fucking number and it doesn't work. The C, change the temperature by 1 degree or less. You got havoc. So I learned that there, you know. Well, I had learned that before I got there, so I applied it there. And like I said, these weren't dumb motherfuckers. They were very smart people just caught in a bad situation or just born at a bad time. So by them, I got motivated, highly motivated. Because if they could fucking be out all night and then sleep an hour and get the fuck back up, and then they're telling us at school that we need 8 hours of sleep. And some of these motherfuckers look in better shape than my father that was fucking going to sleep at the right time and waking up at the right time to go to work and just doing whatever he needed to do. he was aging faster than some of these motherfuckers that were out there consuming all this shit. You know, they were fucking conserved in alcohol. that was the main. That was the main one, alcohol. Yeah. There was a couple of corner stores. One of them, her name was Angelita. I don't know. I don't know, man. She's an old lady. But yeah. And then there was a store called Romeo's. And then I can't forget the one I used to go down by the park. Okay, down by the park, there were those dudes. Like across the other way. And the other way was only one guy. Over here, there was a park. And these guys actually built these wooden benches to sit right there, like to sit down so they wouldn't be uncomfortable standing up. Now, I can't go into the politics of that, but if you take a picture of these guys, man, you'd see them fade away slowly. But you fucking take the picture and put it upon the other picture that you took. It could be fucking 5 years later, and it would still be the same motherfuckers in the same position. Like kind of like that cartoon show, The Hill something. It was like that, and I'm talking the whole day, and sometimes throughout the night. Was it wrong? No. This man resting, generating. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So, but I saw, I saw the connection, Um, you put yourself in the game. There's strikes, there's tackles, there's punches, there's death. And death was slowly creeping up on me. Kept creeping, creeping, getting closer. So, along the maneuvering that I had to do in all these neighborhoods, should stop saying these fucked up neighborhoods. They weren't fucked up. It was just, a bunch of people that just were born at the wrong time, man. You know, just born into the wrong moon, the wrong sun, born to the wrong parents. I don't know. So yeah, I need to admit that. I guess fuck that shit. You know, my apologies to all you neighborhoods, man. La Navarro, La Paloma, Los College Heights, La Hermosa, La Zavala, La Navarro, La Idela. Yeah. And my apologies to all y'all. Not fucked up neighborhoods. Good neighborhoods. Strong neighborhoods. This is teaching. Te- these areas were teaching, You have to learn, respect. Step, that was the main one. That was the main one, is respect. Like along the way, I met some black people. It's respect. I used to have the card to say know, the word nigga, not the other one. We say nigga. And I used to be able to say that word respectfully to all my dark skinned homies. I chose not to use it anymore because of a kid named Quentin. Shout out Quentin. Um, respect. Like that song, Aretha Franklin. I think she's dead. Aretha, if you're dead, hope you're resting. Respect. 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 Uh, they're popping fireworks. Still hot too. I love my neighborhood. I love this neighborhood. And this neighborhood is also across a twin neighborhood that was exactly like the Paloma. But over here it was called the Hielera, the freezer. There used to be like a big ass fucking freezer, man. I don't know. I don't know the story behind it. I don't know. I never met nobody from there. Um, now that I'm here, yeah, good people. Again, not a fucked up neighborhood. Just a cool neighborhood. That's just you know wrong timing. So back to the Paloma. There used to be the store called Globes, and like I said, I'm keeping away from there's school stories that I could say, but you know, it's just some stuff you just can't talk about. It's just you can't be a name dropper, man. But I'll think of something that maybe I can talk about respectfully and honorably, without being a fucking rat. Oh man, I hate when I hear people say, "Oh man, I'm gonna put finger in that guy. Oh, I'm gonna do this." Like, no man, for what? I don't want to see nobody down. I've been down. It hurts. Motherfucking hurts to be down. It hurts not to have any money. It hurts not to have any food. It hurts to. It hurts. It hurts to have to boil your. I went through that shit. You know, on Savannah Street. There was a time my dad didn't. He lost his job. He didn't have any money. The fucking the heater broke, and we had to boil water, take a bath. Those memories don't hurt anymore, but it hurt. It hurt. Fucking hurt. So I didn't want to see nobody hurt. Nobody. Not from the fucking evilest person to the fucking. Well, wait, hold on. No. No, 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 no. There's just some people that do some fucked up shit that, yeah, yeah, man. I don't feel sorry for them. Fuck them. But I'm talking about, people that you can actually say were decent people. Not everybody is in prison is a bad person. They're all innocent till proven guilty. And even if proven guilty, that don't mean shit. There's still fucking real good people that I know that are still in prison right now. And all they did was just try to fucking generate for their families, generate for themselves. Just tired, not having nothing. Sucks not to have nothing. It fucking sucks. So I felt that, and I gave that respect to people. If I had a dollar, I'd give it to you. I had a fucking change, I'd give it to you. You didn't have to ask. I knew it. I could see. I could see it. Shout out to the fucking people that weren't beggars. And shout out to all you that weren't beggars. I know who you are. I still remember you. So, you wanted things. Didn't have them. You want fucking Santa Claus, broke ass, not to bring it to me. So I said, you know what? God, fuck you. Santa, fuck you especially. And I started doing what I needed to do. And there's times I catch myself where I'm just pushing it too far. Not no more. I changed a lot for my kids. A lot for my wife. I owe everything to my wife. I had a very, very bad car accident and I was in ICU for a while. I was in a wheelchair for a while. I almost lost my leg, got amputated almost. And it wasn't for her. I wouldn't have a leg. I wouldn't even be alive. Yeah, I went. I had gotten back from Chicago when I met her. I was coming with cirrhosis of the liver. She heard the doctor tell me. She said, "No, you're quitting everything. You want to be with me? You're gonna quit everything." So I did. I haven't been the perfect husband. I've put her through some rough times. Just being a mata, man. All us matas, man. All us matas. But again, you don't speak bad about your family. Us matas are beautiful, beautiful family. Like I said, we have everything. We have an actor, we have a fucking lawyer, we have a doctor, we have a fucking news reporter that was one of the best news reporters down here. And she represented, uh, well, no, whatever. But yeah, so musicians, just great, great people. Teachers, teachers have gotten awards here in the Valley for being one of the best history teachers. Chito, Mr. Chito Mata, mad respect to you, your son, your family. Love you. Even though I know me and you, I know me and you. Some of my uncles are more like a brother to him than a nephew. But yeah, there at the Paloma, it's just very, very, very tough neighborhood that just molded me into something that I did not want to become. Didn't. So there used to be a store named Globes, and after school, either you went home or you went to the store or you went to the mall. So it was hot at home. So you would go to the stores just to cool off, or you'd go to this downtown place, downtown area. Well, I got a story there. I'm gonna tell it because it's my story. So we used to go to the downtown area. So along Manurine downtown and going to Globes and in the mall. I was at Globes, and here comes another opportunity that arose. That these people in the neighborhood, you know, like these older people, some of the grandparents, they were, born into the game. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So as I'm walking down the aisles, you know, thinking how I'm gonna get the money for this toy, or trying to think, how am I gonna generate? What do I need to do? Because I wasn't getting money from the other shit. I was doing the garbage pail kids, and it was inconsistent. It was every so often. Um, and so there was this old guy, and he goes in Spanish, and I'll translate it. He goes, "¿Qué onda, muchacho? Mata." He said, "What's up, little boy?" Mata, that's my last name, right? And so I go, yeah. He goes, Hirardo, Hirardo, Hirardo. He goes, hey, 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 what's up, man? And so I'm gonna go English, but he said it in Spanish. He goes, you wanna learn something? And we go, yeah. He goes, back then there wasn't, don't talk to strangers. I mean, there wasn't, I don't know. I can't, remember, except maybe by another kid or something, right? Anybody being that perverted. It just didn't happen. Well, not to me. It happened later, but no. Everybody was, you know, cool. Everybody was cool. There was no. I guess everybody was too busy trying to generate money. It wasn't just, and like I said, there was still mad respect for women. You know, mad respect to children. There were civilians. You didn't fuck with them. And so the man says, "Hey man, you want to learn something?" I said, "Yeah man. Mira matita, ¿quieres algo?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, agarras este aquí, le soplas, te calientate heat up your breath, and soplale, y quitas el precio. You take off the price, and you put the price you want. I'm like, well, cool, man. So I started doing that. Little chubby kid with green eyes, walking around, waiting and contemplating on taking the shit off and putting something else on. Because it was twice you need to do it. You need to take another one off and then go and take that one off and put that one on. So yeah, that fucking worked for me for a while. It was cool. What was not cool, that it was getting hard for me to hide these toys. Because my parents were gonna ask I had already done it once with the airplanes. I started giving them away to the kids in the neighborhood, which wasn't many. It was, about 10 or 12. And I couldn't have everybody fucking playing with them. So here in the Paloma, and I have a couple of friends that can back it up. It's what I did. Like I said, I was tired of not having nothing. And I saw these motherfuckers generate for the wrong reasons. And I said, man, I keep fucking these motherfuckers motivated me. I mean, I was on a mission. So yeah, I did that for a while. And I started fucking just training myself to fight. There was a kid in the neighborhood named Diablo. And then there was these other kids that their parents had, their dad had a towing service. I forgot their names, man. They were like three brothers. Those were, the top motherfuckers there as kids. And then this Mexican family lived down the street. So there wasn't a lot of, big ass strong motherfuckers. And let me tell you, I wasn't one of them. I just did defend myself, but I wasn't known as a fighter. I was known as, talking my way out of it and keeping people happy. So it was getting hard to hide these toys. And then, well, along the way, there's another story where before Naruto, I was doing that shit. But except I was fighting this fucking cat that wouldn't leave me alone. And I had a neighbor that they were players, BMWs and shit. Fucking awesome motherfucker, man. Awesome. Rene, I know you're resting in peace, brother. Hope you're hope you're resting, brother. Rene Viescas. Beautiful black little BMW, man. Rene, I love your car, man. Really Viescas. So, yeah, these motherfuckers keep you motivated, man. I loved it. So along with the Kid Diablo, yeah, man, we're all the main ones, there. Well, not me, right? But I was in the background. I was cool in the background. And I was fine with that. I didn't give a fuck. I wasn't looking for no belt. I wasn't looking for no championship. I just wanted to cruise and maneuver my way around these people, as cool as possible. My grandfather would always hit into my head. Júntate con gente mejor que tú. Hang out with people better than you. So yeah. So long, I would fight that fucking cat. And that guy, Rene, he would laugh and tell my mom, so yeah, Danny, anda todo cortado. He's all cut up because of that fucking cat. So yeah, long story short, uh, it prepared me for a lot of shit. Move quick. Evade. You fucking evade. You know? Um, yeah, so along with that, again, another opportunity fucking arose. So yeah, again, another fucking opportunity arose. So it was, yeah, and that's when it got bad. You know, you can't be gluttonous. Too much is too much. Cake, and too much of anything. You go to a buffet, you eat all this shit, you get sick. So life is kind of like that. You just can't eat too much. You get full. You know, and you throw up. So yeah, it got bad. It got really bad. It got really bad, really bad, and it got really bad fast. In a matter of a year and a half to two. Yeah, I just wanted stuff. I just wanted things. So along with that, the opportunity rose again, and it was gloves again. So before I get to that, um, when we used to go downtown, well, there's a street called 17th Street, and there was a bunch of little bars and everything there, cantinas, down 16th and 17th. And well, as a kid, when you were around there, you would see, at night or during the day, you know, these some of them were beautiful. These beautiful, god damn, man, some of these women were beautiful. There was no reason for them to be out there, you know, generating. I'm not gonna say the word. I hate the fucking word. I hate that word. I hate for any woman to get labeled with it, with anything, you know. I can be an asshole. I can be a dick too. I can defend myself sometimes in the wrong way, but just to say, label anybody, anything, just to be cruel, I don't know. That's not my bag. So, whatever. So you see these women out there generating, and some of them you would be like, God damn it, man, what are they doing out here? But yeah, some of these women you learn from them. They talk to you. They tell you the story, where they were from. And some were from Chicago, from Detroit. Some were from Nebraska. Some were from California. Some were just passing through from here. They were passing through here through to other places. Like they would go from here, like to Galveston, to Corpus, to Brownsville, or they just go and they would cross over to Mexico. You know, we have some beautiful places here. Reynosa, Progreso. I forgot the name of the other one. There's another one, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Las Flores, I think that's what it's called. There's some beautiful places down here. Beautiful. Some places that are untouched. Still, you know, are very native, very, just, we have some beautiful places down here. So the opportunity arose again, and that's when it got bad. So I was at Globes again, and again, mata, what's up, man? I knew this person, right? He was, ¿te gusta ese toy? Yeah, man. So he grabbed it, opened it, gave it to me. Go, échate la bolsa. He opened it, took the toy out, and told me, put in your pocket. Like that. Not gonna lie, man. Fear shot through my body. I don't know. It's just I never. That's why I never talked to cops. 'Cause no, it was a rule. Plus you just didn't know. You don't know. Just know. Just know. So I was like, oh shit, am I gonna get in trouble? What's going on? Because they had cameras back then, not the best cameras, but they still had cameras. I was always a person. Well, as a kid growing up, and again, I would throw in the effect of A and B. You gotta fucking go through the alphabet. You gotta do it right. If something's out of order, it's gonna go wrong. You're gonna get caught. So to me, it was just I didn't know. Hey, whoa, 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 wait a minute, wait a minute. And so he goes, "Chécate, watchate." He goes, "Look, check it out." And so he walked out. And so I was like, hmm, hmm, cha-ching. I walked out too. That was it. So a little time passed, and I had a lot, I had a lot. Slingshot, BB guns, pellet guns, toys, figures, candy, and one time a kid told me, "Estás bien pendejo." And there's another guy that lives or that works near me where I live, that he's from that neighborhood. Man, he had the most beautiful mother there. His name's Joseph. Just a German looking mother. Wow. Wow. And a cousin. No, 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 no. No, no, no. The other cousin was somebody else's, but no, but well, his mother was just wow. So, well, he can say, that this is true. Um, so that kid told me, man, estás bien pendejo. You give your toys away. I would sell them. I go in just they were kids, like they had just gotten from Mexico. Mexico was rough too, but not at that time as bad as it was here. So they were kids. To him, his mind, his thinking, his knowledge, or whatever his brain would tell him that I was doing, I was doing a stupid thing by giving my toys away. I should be selling them. So, very smart kid, very smart. And you're gonna say, yeah, that was the right thing to do. But I had already been through that. How the fuck was I gonna hide the money? I couldn't spend it because my parents were always watching. I was always with them. And since I was a kid, like I told you, I would always run off or run away. They were always trying to keep an eye on me. So I couldn't, it would be too much money to hide. Too much. And so I would give my toys away. And so my response to my adult, response, Red Fox. response to this little motherfucker was, yeah, I give my toys away, but that ain't stupid. I play with new toys, and y'all are playing with my old toys. Hmm. How you like them apples? But yeah, that's the truth. You know, shut the fuck up after that and start. Shut the fuck up and enjoyed his marbles and enjoyed his GI Joes and he enjoyed that nice fucking slingshot, not the top of a Clorox bottle with a balloon tied with rubber bands on it that he had before. You're out there. Remember who the first to show you how to really generate and get what you want. But yeah, and death is getting closer. I don't know. It's the I don't believe in aliens and ghosts and I don't know. I might be wrong on this. I don't know, but you, I don't have this huge background in medicine, but I read a couple of books as a kid, as an adult, and there's supposedly the back, releases strychnine. So sometimes you can have these visions, you can have these elusive thoughts, you can have these moments of insanity. And who am I to say it doesn't exist? Who am I to say, like I said, I don't really fuck, I'm not a guy who judges shit. I complain a lot, but I complain about stupid people. Not about people who see shit, you never know. But as a kid, I had a vision. We had gone to the beach. My dad was one of those people that was at the last moment, drunk driver, man. Like, we're going to the beach. And he would pack everything in the car and take you. Since my dad was this huge, over 6 feet tall man, um, his cars were big, like John Candy. He had one of those Ford LTDs, huge car, man, for a huge guy. So we ended up cruising all the time to the beach. And it was like super cool ass ride, you know. I don't know if you've ever been in an old Ford LTT, but a Ford, LTD, but it's a boat of a car. It's a boat of a ride. And so we ended up going that night. My brother, he said he had to work and he had to, he had plans, so he stayed. And as we were in the beach, as I was entering the water, I fell into the water. And I remember taking water in, and I saw, I can't, sometimes, Native Americans also, kind of explain it like that, where you can't really, it's not words that you hear. It's just a thought in words. You know, you don't hear anything. It's just I don't know how to explain it. It's a vision, and I've explained it to other. I've had the privilege to spend some time and have some sit downs with some Native people, true Native people, that have told us, you, your son, and your wife, you have it here. You can see the indigenous, and so they've told me it's possible. So that day, as I fell into the water and I ingested some water, I had that, without words, without volume or anything, somebody will be missing. Somebody will be missing from your family. Somebody's missing from your family. Among with a vision, with something, a picture, whatever, right? I just saw somebody lying on the floor, on the ground. Couldn't see where. So I told my mom this shit, and she got all nervous because my brother was always getting into trouble that could all potentially lead him to dying. Like that first time that they put him on the road, there was other ones after that. And so this is a story about my brother when we were in the middle of McAllen before they moved us back to the Paloma, to the south. My This is how bad that my mom would get so scared of him missing that I guess she would have like these nervous breakdowns. And that night she made my dad go look for him. Like, go look for him. My dad was out the whole night looking for him. He would come home and then he would take off again. And he would the whole night he did this shit, going looking for him. And in the morning, nonchalant, my brother walks in, and there's my brother. He would dress like a cholo, khaki pants, Stacy Adams, flannel shirt, and a baño handkerchief, like those, the ones with the paisleys, the ones the Bloods and the Crips use, the cholos use. Yeah, one of those. Walks in nonchalant. My dad goes, "Where were you? I was looking for you the whole night." He goes, "I know. I saw you. I was with that girl that supposedly had a, well, with true, he did have a child with her. But, yeah, I saw you through the window passing back and forth. Oh my dad just punched him. Boom, right in the face. Yeah, like I said, there was no CPS shit being called back then, man. Your parents didn't kick your ass. My dad had this thing that he called the field goal. He fucking kick you. You just fly. Like I think John Leguizamo in one of his videos, in one of his jokes, his stand-ups, he says, my dad would kick me like a field goal, and he'll well there I go flying through the air, wee. Yeah, I laugh about it because I had a grudge against it, but when you're older, I never did that to my children. No, no, I don't believe in hitting them. No, maybe sometimes it was a spanking or so, but no. Not as bad like my dad. My dad would beat the fuck out of you. He would hit you with a belt. He would hit you with anything he had in his hand. So, yeah, that was my dad. But, so, yeah, that's my brother. He would get into those fucking pickles. And so I had that vision, and my mother got all fucking weirded out. So we came back early and everything, and we found him well. He was cool. There was nothing wrong. That was in March. Somewhere in March. I don't remember. So I kept having the issue of these fucking toys, man. What do I do with so many? And I never used a pellet or a BB gun after that for the longest time until I think I was friends with a guy named Kat, a bartender where I used to work. He used to shoot his BB gun, and I'll get to that story later because it actually pissed me off. But I never told him anything because he's just an awesome person, man. What a beautiful family, also. You know, just his mom looked like Anne Rice, but I could never bring myself to be in any way or form disrespectful just by wanting to be to that person. He was just him and his wife, awesome. Terry, Kat, shout out to you. Um, yeah. So, but before I get to that, that time I regretted, you know, getting that stupid fucking that BB or Pentagon, whatever it was, because me and that kid Diablo were hanging out, and he's like, "Let me see that shit." And he grabbed it, right, and I go, oh, what? Look at that beautiful hummingbird. I mean, you know, sometimes hummingbirds are huge. They're not the little ones you see. Sometimes some of them can get really, really big for what they are. So this is just a beautiful, colorful, one. And right before I fucking, go, hey, look, dude, he was already pointing the beacon and shot it. Whoa, man, fucking took it away from me. I'm not gonna say I won the fight, but goddamn, make sure the he knew not ever to do that in front of me ever again. Again, I'm not gonna say I won the fight, but god damn it, I did win a little bit of respect that day. And remember, this is a kid named Diablo. We're cool. We worked at the same restaurant. Oh, when I was older. Shout out to Santa Fe Steakhouse. Shout out to Bernard, the owner, and his wife. Cool people. Other cool people. Generators. Just generators. Very, very, very good people. Thank you for the opportunity to let me work there. Thank you for being a good friend to my father. Santa Fe Steakhouse. Well, okay, back to the keep fucking hijacking my own interview. Um, God damn, I forgot what I was talking about. Hmm. So yeah, back to I guess the vision part. Um, Death kept creeping up, closer and closer and closer. I was at a carnival one time, and I don't, I never knew who it was. And I don't know, maybe I was mistaken by somebody for somebody else, but I got stabbed in the knee, and it went down in, so it didn't really get me any. It didn't really hurt me like in any on my knee or anything. But when I got home, my mom was like, "What the fuck is that? ¿Qué chingados es eso?" And there was a knife still in my leg, and so she fucking pulls it out. And we're talking about a time they didn't take you to the doctor because sometimes the doctor had to come to the house, and the one that was down, the hospital was downtown. It was very expensive, so she just patched it up, put alcohol on it. That was it. I mean, I had already gone through. Well, that's another one I didn't talk about. Oh my God, I keep forgetting about these stories. On Savannah Street, when I was a little kid, I learned what pain was. There was a dog that bit me in my hand, yanked my bone out. You know, the meat was hanging, like like in my hand. You could see where you could see. I don't know if you can see it here in the camera, but you can see where it's connect. That area right here in the palm, it's connected. It's all connected together. You can see the stitching, and then there's a little point somewhere right there where that little piece was just hanging on, just barely hanging on. And so the doctor connected all that together, pushed the bone back in. So I know pain, man. Woo! I know pain. Plus the beatings that my dad would give us with the belt and shit. So yeah, I knew how to control myself. So yeah, um, it was just the experiences that you had that just made you stronger and more more reliant, or to any situation that you would get yourself in that was there. And so I just didn't want, you know. So I regretted getting that pellet gun or whatever it was. But boy, man, boy, what a time. And yeah, just I guess I'm gonna leave it there. Y'all have a cool Friday night, and take care of yourselves and respect. That's all it is. It's just respect. Keeping yourself quiet when you need to be quiet. And stand up when you need to stand up. But understand that there's consequences with standing up. As long as, it also is by just sitting down. Just, you gotta know when, like Dave Chappelle says, sometimes keeping it real doesn't go, doesn't go well. Yeah, I'll keep cool, man. Later, good night. Sit down con el día, el cuervo.